the matter. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start our reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Thursday to you and your loved ones. And of course, thank you for being here with us. A wonderful story awaits. And today we are out in nature exploring our animal families. And of course, we'll be reading this one called Hear Them Roar. Yes, this one coming to us from FAMILIUS. It is written by June Smalls and illustrations by BECKY THORNS. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you're ready for this one. It is a lovely one indeed. Thank you so much for joining in today. And of course, maybe some homework after this. We can look at a few of the animals on this list and try and see what level of endangered they are on. So thank you so much for joining in today. And as always, please let us know you're here. Let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you. And we wish you a wonderful, wonderful day indeed. Thank you for joining in today. And of course, to Sarah and Nathan, I see that you're in. I hope that the snow was not too crazy. I hope that you're okay. It's good to see you here. Tells me at least I know you're okay. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. And to everybody that is joining us, whether live right now or for the recordings later on, indeed, we do send love to you and well wishes to you. And of course, let us know that you are here. And if you have any questions, any recommendations, please do send them our way. And I will definitely be getting back to you on whatever messages that come through. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you this week to FAMILIUS for allowing us to read these amazing books that we've been able to share here on Storytime. And you can see all the different titles, including Mommy's Love, Florence and a Fantastic Family Tree. And then we've read Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. And then today, of course, we're reading Hear Them Roar. And then tomorrow we bring No Matter What, a foster care tale. So do join us for all those amazing stories. Thank you, FAMILIUS, for allowing us to read them here on Storytime. And of course, too, don't forget, Jack, the library cat, is coming out March 1st. So be sure to ask for that one at your local library. And of course, look out, keep an ear out as we'll be having Marietta right here on Storytime. So excited for that, excited for the book. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And I hope that today, indeed, you do find that cozy corner and read an extra book or two. Thank you for being here. Good morning to you, of course, Sarah and Nathan. Thank you for joining us out there in Illinois. Thank you. We say it is cold, Illinois. Oh, thank you so much for joining in. And as always, we hope that Storytime can warm you today, warm your hearts. Thank you so much for joining in. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can roar with me. And all those roars hopefully make us, make us stronger, but also make us warmer. Happy Thursday, Sarah and Nathan. You say, well, we hear you loud and clear. Thank you for that. Happy Thursday, indeed, speaking it into the rest of the world. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning to you. How are you doing today? Erin and Clara, it's warm enough that snow is slowly melting. Beautiful picture today. It is a beautiful picture indeed. Thank you. And of course, that beautiful picture too that you put in my head of out there, Massachusetts. I can picture, that sunshine, the warmth coming through, and the snow melting away. Thank you so much for joining in. Absolutely appreciate you. This picture that we're sharing today is out in Guerneville, California, and we know too that with the floods and everything that has happened, the rain, the storms that we've had, Guerneville was one of the areas that has been affected. But it is a beautiful area indeed, and hopefully it can recover. From the storms and floods that have happened, especially with the Russian River. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. Absolutely appreciate you, and yeah, glad you're here. Good morning to you, Katewe Kunda. How are you doing out in Zambia? Thank you so much, Mpundu. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in today on Story Time. Glad you are here. Is it good evening out there in Lusaka? Well, it's 5 p.m. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully you're having your pre-dinner snack. Hopefully one that won't mess up your dinner appetite too much. Thank you so much for joining in, everybody. Glad we're here together. Get ready for a story. Get comfortable. Get cozy. Go grab what you need to make story time even better. Here we go. Hear them roar. 14 endangered animals from around the world. Written by June Smalls, illustrations by Becky, THORNS. And we're reading this one with permission of the publishers, FAMILIUS. Join me on the other side of this short message when we're back for story time. Thank you so much for being here today. I'll see you in a bit.
Have you ever wondered what makes you special? Maybe it's the color of your eyes. Maybe it's something that you can do, like sing. Well, with my brand new book, I See Me, you'll find out exactly what makes you awesomely special. Make sure you keep in touch with me on my social media handles and at Just in Time for Storytime. You're watching Storytime with Mr. Lamont.
Welcome back indeed. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. I'm glad that we're here together. And let us get ready with our story for today. And this one is called Hear Them Roar. Yes. And also it has a special part too. There's listen and learn. So we can get to listen to all the different sounds that these animals make. Yes, hear them roar. 14 endangered animals from around the world, written by June Smalls and illustrations by Becky, THORNS, and of course being read with permission of the publishers, FAMILIUS Books. Here we go. And I want us to start with the introduction as well, before we get into reading, and hopefully we'll read 2 animals and we'll see how much time we have at the end, and maybe we might squeeze in one more, but we're going to be looking at 2 for sure. Hear them roar. 14 endangered animals from around the world. We'll be looking at some of the things. What are we doing to help those animals? All right. So the introduction, and there you go. It's a different animal. So let's look at the introduction first. It mentions a few things. All around the world, animals are suited to specific habitat in which they live. Unfortunately, some animals that once thrived are now in danger of becoming extinct. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, classifies animals into groups based on their risk level. The International Union of Conservation of Nature classifies animals into groups based on their risk level. This list is known as the Red List of Threatened Species. The groups are, so you will have several groups of animals, and you can see there, it's very small print. I'll try to read one at a time. So there's a list based on risk level. Least concern. The species population is widespread and plentiful. So that's level 1. Least concern. And I'm only saying level 1 in terms of how I'm going down the list. Least concern. The species population is widespread and plentiful. Near threatened. It's the next level. A species that is likely to qualify for a threatened category in the near future. So that species is depleting fast and might soon qualify for a threatened category. That is near threatened. The next one is vulnerable. A species whose population has declined by almost 50%. That one is classified as vulnerable. A species whose population has declined by almost 50%. And then there's endangered. A species whose population has declined by almost 75%. That's a huge number. And then critically endangered. A species whose population has almost completely disappeared. And then extinct in the wild. A species that only survives in captivity, such as zoos or well outside of its natural range. This classification occurs when an animal hasn't been found in its native habitat for many years. And that one is classified as extinct in the wild. And then extinct, a species where there is no reasonable doubt that all remaining individuals have died. So that one is extinct. A species where there is no reasonable doubt that all remaining individuals have died. Human activity is the primary reason for modern animal extinction. Humans cause habitat loss by clearing wilderness for buildings or for farming. We also hunt for food, for trophies, or to rid ourselves of pests. Even animals that we keep as pets can disrupt natural habitats. Animals that do not normally belong in an area are called invasive species. They are introduced when pets are lost or released into the wild. Small animals like rats can also stow away on ships and in cargo and disrupt an area's natural balance when they arrive at new ports. Some animals are also in danger from being used in traditional medicine. This means the animals are killed because people believe that some part of that animal will improve the health of humans. Many people, from grown-ups like scientists, lawmakers, and volunteers, to kids like yourselves, are working to help save these animals from extinction. They are cleaning up and protecting land, breeding animals for release in the wild, stopping illegal hunters known as poachers, and educating others about the needs and benefits of each animal. Even small actions such as making sure you will never litter or never buy items that come from endangered animals like ivory can go a long way toward protecting animals. So that was our introduction, and I just wanted to go back on for us to go and on that just have that background information so we know or that we can have the different levels as we are reading about our animals today. And we have least concern, we have near threatened, we have vulnerable, endangered, critically endangered, extinct in the wild, and then extinct. These are the different levels, different risk levels of endangerment. And good morning to you too. Thank you for joining in, Sharon Lungo and Soraya. You're here. Thank you for joining in. Good morning to you. All right, so we're going to start with our first animal today that I thought we should read about, and we're going to read about the black rhino. The black rhino. Let me just go to that page, and of course, too, we're going to find the sound of that black rhino. The black rhino. I had a bookmark on it, and of course, now that I want it, I cannot find the bookmark. Just give me 1 second. There we go. Black rhino. And there it is. The black rhino. Do you want to hear its sound? All right, here we go. Where are you? Here we go. Listen to this. Is that the sound you were expecting? So that is the sound of the black rhino. And we'll come back. We'll try to listen to it again some more. All right. So where is this one on our list? Well, this one is the black rhino is critically endangered. It is a critically endangered mammal found in Africa. Black rhinos are not black. They are gray. We do not really know where they got their name. It may be from the dark-colored soil that covers its skin after wallowing in mud to separate them from the white rhino, or as a translation from beak, which describes the lip shape. If you find out some more, let me know about where that name might come from. Black rhino. There are two species of rhinoceroses, or rhino, in Africa. The larger is the white rhino, and the smaller is the black rhino. One big difference between the two species is the shape of their mouths. The white rhino's mouth is square-shaped for eating grasses, while the black rhino's is pointy like a beak, which helps it eat leaves and branches from trees and bushes. Most black rhinos stand just over 5 feet tall and weigh between 1,760 to 3,080 pounds. They have an excellent sense of smell and hearing, but their eyesight is not very good. Their skin may be thick, but it is sensitive. To protect their skin from the sun and bugs, they relax in water holes and mud. The horns are made of keratin, which is what human hair and fingernails are made of. They live mostly solitary lives. Only females and their young travel together. A female may give birth every 2 to 3 years, and a calf stays with its mother for about 2 years before going off on its own. Rhinos can be aggressive and territorial. They have even been seen charging at trains moving through their territory. So that's a little bit about the black rhino and where it is found. What are some things that are being done? Well, the biggest threat to the black rhino is poaching. Their horns are used in traditional medicine, and with 2 horns, they are seen as more valuable to the poachers. Conservation groups and local governments are working together to protect the black rhino's habitat. They work with the local people and use technology to catch and stop poachers from hunting these protected animals. So that's a little bit of what is being done. And for those of you, special adults joining in too, that want to explore a little bit more into the topic of poaching, there is a book by Wilbur Smith called Elephant Song, and it also goes into it's predicated on all just a poaching ring that was happening in Southern Africa, and the story develops from there. So I would encourage you to find it and read that one, Elephant Song. So that's a bit about the black rhino. What about their voice, which we heard earlier? Well, rhinos make many sounds, including sniffing, grunting, growling, mooing, panting, squealing, screaming, and trumpeting. The high-pitched squeals are mostly made by the calves. You want to hear them one more time? All right, here we go. So that is on the black rhino and where it is found. Well, let us go to our next animal. And I thought we should read about the vulture. And let me just pull that one up. Pull it up. And yeah, it is a fascinating one as well, especially because of the reputation that vultures have. And so I thought we should read about it and see, because this is one of the things that this book does. It just doesn't give you the the negative sides, but it gives you the benefits as well. What are the benefits of having those animals around? So let us read about the white-backed vulture. The white-backed vulture. And here we go. Have you seen this one before? Have you heard of it? Well, we're going to read about it today. Quick facts. Well, the white-backed vulture is endangered. It's an endangered bird found in sub-Saharan Africa. To cool off in hot weather, white-backed vultures will pee on their feet and legs. The urine kills bugs and germs, which helps keep the vultures healthy. What do you think of that? Let's read it one more time. Well, we know that they're endangered. That's the risk level. And they're found in sub-Saharan Africa. To cool off in hot weather, white-backed vultures will pee on their feet and legs. The urine kills bugs and germs, which helps keep the vulture healthy. And here's a little bit more information. And of course, we're going to look at what we're doing. Vultures sometimes have a bad reputation, but they play an important role in keeping their ecosystem healthy by working as a cleanup crew. They eat only carrion, which is a fancy word for dead animals. Getting rid of meat before it cannot, let me find my place. Getting rid of meat before it can rot prevents dangerous germs from growing. Vultures also act as insect control because some insect populations become too large if there is a lot of rot for them to eat. The white-backed vulture is spread throughout sub-Saharan Africa. The wingspan can reach 7 feet wide. Imagine that. They hunt for carrion by circling in the sky with keen eyesight. These social animals eat together, sometimes with as many as 100 vultures joining the meal. Sometimes they eat so much they cannot fly afterward. Can you imagine that? They roost together in tall trees and breed once a year. They lay only one egg, and the parents take turns caring for it for about 2 months. Once it hatches, the chick stays in the nest for about 4 months before it is ready to fly. One of the biggest dangers to white-backed vultures is poisoning from the food they eat. Vultures sometimes eat poisoned meat left out by farmers to kill the animals. They believe will harm their livestock. Cattle that have been given medicine to keep them healthy, and bullets left in animals that have been shot. These vultures are also used in traditional medicine. Let me read that last paragraph a little bit more so it's clearer. One of the biggest dangers to white-backed vultures is poisoning from the food they eat. Vultures sometimes eat poisoned meat left out by farmers to kill the animals they believe will harm their livestock. Cattle that have been given medicine to keep them healthy, and bullets left in animals that have been shot. These vultures are also used in traditional medicine. So let's remember that. Vultures sometimes have a bad reputation, but they do have an important role to play in our ecosystems. What is being done to help protect them? Conservation organizations monitor the locations where vultures are getting poisoned and work to stop poachers. They also help build systems around the cattle to prevent predators from getting to them, which would then attract the vultures. The Association of Zoos and Aquariums has a program called Saving Animals from Extinction. The white-backed vulture is one of those animals. They help by educating the public about the animal and its importance, as well as breeding and helping sick or injured vultures for release back into the wild. It's important work happening there. And that is the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, where they help protect animals, educating the public. Education is so key. They educate the public, they help breed the animals, and also they help treat and take care of the sick animals. What about their voice? The white-backed vulture is silent most of the time, but it occasionally sounds like a pig, making chittering and squealing noises. Do you want to hear it? All right, here we go. White-backed vulture, where are you? Oh, there we go, right here at the bottom. Listen to this. Yeah, that is the white-backed vulture. Oh, and that is where we're going to stop today. Thank you so much for joining me, friends. And as you can see from the list on here, there's so many animals in here that we didn't get to talk about. There's the Asian elephant, there's the Bengal tiger, there's the black-footed ferret, there's the blue whale, and we also have gray-headed flying fox. We also have the Houston toad. We have the Kakapo, the Sumatran orangutan. We have the Philippine eagle, we have the polar bear, and of course we have the red wolf as well. So many in here. This book has 14 endangered animals from around the world. And this one was coming to us from June Smalls and Becky THORNS, and of course, FAMILIUS Publishing. Thank you so much for allowing us to share this book here. And of course, many sounds. Find it at your local library, find it where you find books, and get to enjoy it. And of course, read about all these animals. And I think I particularly wanted to read about the vulture because of the reputation that it gets, but then also we want to be educated, to be reminded that there's an important role that these animals have to play in our communities, and of course the conservation work that is happening. And so as we learn about it, maybe we can even research some more and find out what else that can be done or is being done to help these animals. And who knows, maybe we can volunteer or also, volunteer our time, our resources, however that we can, to help with these causes. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. I hope you enjoyed this one. Yes, let's hear them roar. And I hope that it has indeed reminded us of the role that we need to play in helping protect our environment, helping protect our animals, helping protect animal habitats, and so many other ways. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Join me on the other side of this short message when we are back for more Storytime.
Hi, my name's Christine Mitchell-Adams. I'm a mama and an artist, and I believe that books are a great way for children to have access to the arts on an everyday basis, which is why I believe that programs like Storytime with Mr. LaMotta are so important.
Welcome back. Right as I was reaching for my book. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And of course, Christine Mitchell-Adams, artist out in Vermont, sending you love. And of course, good morning to you, Bowden, as well. Yes, no matter what, this one coming up tomorrow, a foster care tale. Join me tomorrow and let us read this one together. It is written by Josh Ship with David Tish, and of course, illustrations by Yulia Pankratova. So do join us tomorrow and find out what this one is all about. It is a heartwarming book indeed, and I think the perfect way to wrap up books that we'll be reading this week from FAMILIUS. Thank you so much for joining in today, friends. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you enjoyed the story. And of course, I hope that we've been moved to action and think about what we can do. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Glad we were here together. Yes, please do join me tomorrow for more Storytime. Thank you for being here. Absolutely appreciate you. And of course, remember too that we have had amazing books this week from FAMILIUS, including Mommy's Love, Florence and her fantastic family tree. And of course, we've had Stopping by Woods, on a snowy evening, and then hear them roar. We got to learn a little bit more today about the vulture, the white-backed vulture, and of course too we got to learn a little bit about the black rhino and the conservation efforts that are being done. And of course tomorrow, join us for No Matter What. Thank you so much for joining in today. I am glad that we were here together. One more time, let us see who was with us enjoying story time. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Sarah, for joining in today. It is cold out there in Illinois, but I'm glad that we were here together. And I hope that that story today, that book, helped warm you up. Hope story time helped you warm you up indeed. Thank you so much for being here. Please do stay safe. Do stay warm. Thank you for being here with us. Amanda West, thank you so much for joining in. Sending you love, love, love. Good morning to you, Erin and Clara out in Massachusetts, where it is indeed a little warmer today, and of course melting snow. Well, thank you so much for joining in. Beautiful, beautiful picture, you say. Well, thank you indeed, and we'll keep bringing them, and please keep sending us pictures as you have them. Please send us pictures, amazing scenes in nature that we can get to show out here on Storytime with your permission, of course. Thank you so much for joining in today. Kunda, thank you so much, Kotebe Kunda, joining us all the way out in Lusaka, Zambia, or in Zambia. Thank you so much for joining in. And yes, Mpundu, thank you so much for joining in today. Good morning to you, or is it good evening to you out there? Enjoy your evening, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day indeed. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And right here in Oakland, Soraya, thank you so much for joining in. And of course, good morning to you, Sharon Lungo. I will see you again tomorrow when we're back for more Storytime. Yes, indeed. Do join us tomorrow, no matter what. A foster care tale. Do join us for this one and find out what it's all about. Thank you so much for joining in. And coming right up too, there will be a giveaway of Angela Dalton's new book, To Boldly Go. We'll be giving away one book, and so do keep an ear out, do keep an eye out, and we'll be sending information soon on what you can do to get yourself that copy. Thank you so much for joining in today. Absolutely appreciate you. And of course, Marietta, congratulations on your upcoming book. And we cannot wait to see it. We cannot wait to have those hard copies. And of course, check it out at our local libraries. Thank you so much for joining in today, friends. This has been Storytime for today. This has been Storytime on this Thursday morning. I will see you again tomorrow for more Storytime. Much love from me. I see you soon.
Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing